In the super successful Skyfall, that you put China as one of the shooting scenes, and in the Spectre that you choose Mexico City. It's kind of moving from the BRICS country to mint country. Does it have a marketing implication in that?
No, I don't think I ever thought about the marketing, actually. I thought more about what was right for the character. You know, I think that if you're not careful, the locations become just about externals. They're just about, well, where can we go that looks cool, you know? And you've got to try and find something that is useful to you in the story and mirrors Bond's emotional state from moment to moment. So those choices are all made about because of what the story needs, really. But it was a great time in Mexico, as we had a great time in China.
Did you enjoy, as the director of Spectre, with the huge amount of budget of $300 million?
Yeah, it's like asking someone if they enjoy an extreme sport. You know, whether you're driven to do it. You know, the best analogy I can find is like being a surfer and wanting to surf the big wave. You know, and you get wiped out 9 times out of 10, but when you catch the big wave, it's worth all the pain. So yeah, it's not relaxing. But it's very exhilarating, you know, and it's really thrilling when you've got all the bells and whistles, all the big train set to play with, and everything's working, and everyone's excited and focused. It's like nothing else, and so in that respect, I loved it.
And this is not your first time working with Thomas Newman as the music, because you have very successful collaboration in American Beauty. And what do you think his music brought to Spectre?
He's written a wonderful musical score, I think, really brilliant. It's muscular and fun and romantic and exciting, thrilling at times. Music is crucial in any movie, but it's absolutely crucial in a Bond movie. And, you know, sometimes you can close your eyes and it's still exciting, you know. I think he's also created 2 of the most beautiful romantic pieces of music he's ever created. And, you know, he does what all music can do, which is create emotion, you know. And that's something I love about the score, and I think he's done brilliantly.
So, and also inviting Monica Bellucci on board to become a slightly mature James Bond girl or Bond lady is a big decision, or how does this?
It didn't feel like a big decision at the time because she's Monica Bellucci. You know, it's like casting Sophia Loren or a great, you know, Italian movie star. We should just feel lucky to have her, you know. Then the way it's been talked about, of course, is that it's sort of in some way revolutionary, which I'm afraid says some not very good things about the way we feel about older women in movies. I think she's fantastic, but you know, there's a reason for having that maturity, and it's because you want someone to come on screen who's got a history, who brings a feeling of a life that has been well lived, that she's been in the organization for 30 years. So that there are story reasons why she needs to be a little older as well, and I think that was very important.
And the movements in this movie is kind of breathtaking. I watched it yesterday. So is it difficult to guarantee that world wrestling champion to fight against James Bond end up James Bond is the winner? Yeah. How difficult is from a director perspective?
It is very difficult. It's a very good question, actually, because he's always got to win, but you've always got to. Well, it's true, isn't it? It's a very strange thing to do. He has to win, and yet you have to worry that he's going to lose. So you have to pit him against an almost impossible situation or an impossibly difficult opponent, and then you have to watch him become victorious. And in that case, with Dave on the train, the big fight on the train, yeah. Of course, it's not just him. It's Madeline. It's Léa Seydoux character who comes to his aid as well. So. That's a pivotal moment. In a way, she saves his life, and so that's very important.
And among all these shooting locations, which one is your favorite?
Difficult to say, really. I mean, I think I'm very proud of Mexico. I love the nighttime car chase in Rome. I love the spectacular scenery of the Alps in Austria, and I'm a big fan of the desert, of all deserts, but particularly the desert in Morocco. The emptiness and the stillness of it. So, I think they're kind of equal in my mind.
And are you going to bring Spectre to China to promote
Absolutely,
the movie?
yes. I'm very excited that we will be bringing Spectre to China. We will be traveling with it. I'm very, very keen for Chinese audiences to discover it. There was a great deal of excitement and love for Skyfall, and I hope there will be even more for this movie, because I'm really proud of it.
Good. As the Bound's director, what do you want the audience to feel that Sam Mendes' Bound is different from other directors' Bound?
I wouldn't compare myself with other directors, but for me, what I want an audience to feel is I want them to care about Bond in a way that's not just detached. I want them to feel that he's complicated and vulnerable and strong and capable of good and bad, that he's a multifaceted character. He's an anti-hero, not just a hero, and I think that's something I feel very strongly about throughout both movies. And I want to feel like these movies are made with style and a sense of fun and flair, and that they're for the audience. Most of all, they're for the audience.
In the hugely successful Skyfall, we have the China elements. Well, however, in this newly released Spectre, starts in Mexico City, it's kind of a transit from the brick country to mint country. Do you think there is a marketing consideration behind that?
I don't think we have a marketing consideration behind the places we go. I think the writers and ourselves and the director come up with that story, and then we go out and look for locations that fit the story. And it turned out that this time it was Austria up in the snow, it was Rome, the Eternal City, with a car chase at night through there, and then it was Mexico City for the Day of the Dead, and then Morocco, where we were out in the desert. And every one of those was, chosen because it fit the story.
Great. So how cool was that to spend $300 million US? Were you anxious or you excited about that?
Well, there's been a lot of speculation about the budget and how much it is. We haven't actually given a figure. It's an expensive movie, but Bond movies are always expensive because we believe you've got to put a lot on the screen. And this film has everything you could ever want from a Bond film. It has amazing locations, it has fantastic action, and we travel the world, and it's all there. And it's two hours of extreme entertainment, and I think people will feel they get their money's worth when they go to see it.
I watch it, it's really breathtaking, but I want to know which scene is most money burning.
Well, I don't think you can look at a film and say, that scene costs a lot of money more than this scene and that. I think, it's sort of an average, because there's so many costs that are not particularly related to the actual filming. It's I think all of the spectacular scenes take time, and time is where you have to put the money.
And in this Spectre, that Mr. Daniel Craig is not only the actor but also become a co-producer. So as the producer for decades of Bond's movie, how do you feel about that, about his more and more engagement with the movie?
Well, he's been very involved in the making of all the 4 films. He goes way beyond his role as an actor. He puts a lot of input into the story and the script and all elements of the making of these films. And we felt it was appropriate to reward him with a co-producer credit because of everything he's done over these last 4 films.
Now, Bond's movie is kind of a track back to Bond's history and some previous themes in previous movies. So how come you make this decision to go this direction?
Well, I think Daniel Craig, when he took over as James Bond, one of the extraordinary things about his performance is that he's brought a lot of Bond's inner life and inner conflicts in the development of his character. And I think that's something that audiences have really loved, is to get to find out a little bit more about Bond's past and the way Bond feels and thinks. And I think that's one of the great successes of Daniel Craig's portrayal of James Bond.
Mm-hmm. And Adele's song of Skyfall won James Bond movie Oscar Best Original Song. So how confident are you about Sam Smith's new song?
I think Sam Smith did an excellent job. he consulted the director, and then he went off and read the script, and then based upon that, came up with the song. And I think the song fits the movie perfectly. Remember, the song takes us into Bond's world. It's through the and sets it up for what we're going to see. And I think that and the titles are what creates the portal through which we go.
And in terms of the casting, this time we have first ever the oldest Bond girl onto the screen. So how was this decision was made?
Well, we had the character written in the script of Lucia, and then we thought, well, who's the best person to play that role? We needed a really intelligent, good actress who was very alluring and who could make a big impact, and who better than our wonderful Monica Bellucci.
That's true. So last question is, do you have any promotional plan about China? Are you going to bring this movie to China?
Yes, we're very, very excited to be coming back to China again. We've been there on previous Bond movies. We were there for Casino Royale, we were there for Skyfall, and we're coming now for Spectre, which will be opening in China on November the 13th. And Daniel Craig is coming to China,
Wow.
and Sam Mendes. So we're very, very much looking forward to showing this film to the audiences in China, and we hope that they will enjoy it very, very much.